President Aquino has urged fellow Ateneans to join hands in building a better nation for the country's future generation. The president issued the call in his speech during the 40th anniversary of the Ateneo Professional Schools. The president also recounted the problems he and his officials had to face in steering the country towards a straight path. This report from Ignacio.
President Aquino is using his time significantly. This is how the president faced challenges with the remaining days of his presidency. President Aquino said this in an open forum during the 40th anniversary of the Ateneo Professional Schools.
The challenges, when you look at it, it's really just a question of prioritizing. Will I spend most of my time answering the cottage industry of critics that has sprung up? Or, di ba, parang follow Father Olagar's advice before, wala sa debate, wala sa usapan, sa gawa na lang. And I tend to follow that advice. Why spend the time debating with somebody who never had an open mind? Why not just do what has to be done?
With all the needed reforms and problems in the country, the president will always get his strength from God.
Now, how do I cope with it? Siyempre, at the end of the day, no? Parang when you have a very complex problem, I have to be able to satisfy myself that I did everything I could. Then I'm humble enough, I hope, no? To remember that at the end of the day, I talk to God. I talk to God. I pray to God and say, and I'll share with you the prayer. I ask that we may be made instruments of His will, that we are able to create His kingdom here on earth, and that's for forever. And a lot of times I'm calmed by that.
But the president stressed he has learned to do simple things to relax after heavy work, like listening to music and taking meal with his family and friends.
I'm beginning to appreciate classical music these days. Kasi pag nakinig tayo ng mga songs, I'm sure a lot of people here have heard of Adele. Tapos syempre CD, re-repeat mo. Kaya pag yung listen to Adele na on repeat, parang nakaka-depress afterwards. Parang nawawala yung uplifting moments. Or time to time, even something as simple as a meal, you share with some friends. Natuwa ka, nangiti ka. So time to time, may ability ka pa para makangiti ng konti. Okay na rin.
He also admitted that he is concerned with people working with him are not spared from criticisms.
Tapos iniisip ko, siguro parang pinakamahirap more than anything, it's really the cost or the emotional cost on everybody else that is helping me in this route. I can go to my office, which they call the private office. Tapos yung one of my oldest staff members, oldest meaning hindi physical age, pero in length of time that she's been with me, she has this calendar, yung old-style calendar na pinupulit na yung pahina. And it marks the number of days left.
The president has more than 800 days in Malacanang, but for his family, the end of his term marks the start of normalcy in their lives.
When I look at my sister, siguro, for instance, or even if I look at my nephews and nieces, parang bang the end of my term marks the beginning of normalcy in their lives. So, the question that is at my mind, baka pwede pa akong go another 20 rounds of everything that has to deal with this job. But I don't think I'm prepared to sacrifice everybody else.
For the People's Television, Ignacio.